I know that you've been directly involved with many campaigns that I've personally, that personally made a big impression on me. So, I would love to hear, your insight and the creative process behind them. One of them is, a campaign the campaign for Jenny by Nothing More. Correct me if I'm
Oh,
wrong.
now those guys have my heart.
Yes.
Like they are wonderful people. I mean, I'm still friends with them. I went to Louder Than Life and I saw them and I hung out with them. And I just, every time I see them doing something great,
Mm-hmm.
it warms my heart
Mm-hmm.
because they are truly wonderful people, great partners to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And they give of themselves like emotionally to their
Mm-hmm.
fans in a way that not everybody does. And in that Jenny campaign, I've been involved with mental health causes before,
Mm-hmm.
and I introduced them to the Jed Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And we went about doing that campaign. Johnny told me a story about his aunt
Mm-hmm.
that, she had a traumatic experience when she was younger and had a break kind of and had problems for years and years and years. And her name was Jenny, and his sister was named after her,
Mm-hmm.
Jenna.
Mm-hmm.
And she also, had mental health
Mm-hmm.
difficulties and challenges. And like a lot of people do that have these challenges that aren't as well informed about them,
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
deny them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take their medicine. They don't, and that's, and there's like a stigma to it. So Johnny and I had a very deep conversation about it and said, let's do something. And that launched the Jenny campaign. And everything at the end of the video,
Yeah.
after the phone dangles,
Yeah.
that's all stuff I did.
Amazing.
I found the quote, I helped them with the organizations. And I have to say, that is one of my proudest moments.
Yeah, I specifically wanted to ask you about this one because firstly, this is the sort of projects I've seen in the music business that just feels so much more than just a typical sort of video music release or whatever the case might be. And I've been fortunate enough to speak with Johnny a couple of times about this particular case. By the way, just a few episodes before having you on, I had also Mark, and he was explaining the whole process behind the campaign because I pretty much asked him the same question.
Yeah. I
And
mean, those guys are so giving of themselves. The
yes,
reason that a lot of music videos get to be so sterile and
yes,
predictable is because people aren't willing to be open. And the guys in Nothing More, they are wide open. And that is what makes them so special and still to this day special to me
mm-hmm,
because we were just of like minds,
mm-hmm.
and I'm their biggest fan.
Absolutely. I mean, they really deserve it. They just feel so, as you said, different. And I guess there's no better word
Authentic.
to it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Um, have you had what are some sort of other similar projects that you worked on or you feel so emotionally invested with as well?
I have to say that's probably the most emotionally invested I got at that label.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, actually, no. A second to that is Escape the Fate, who I'm still working with.
Amazing. Yeah.
Um, Craig Mabbitt got sober over quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so proud of him. I,
Mm-hmm.
I want to not tear up. I'm starting to a little bit. I was so proud of Craig
Mm-hmm.
and the person that he became
Mm-hmm.
and the role model that he became,
Mm-hmm.
getting sober and talking freely about it. And I mean, in a personal way, I am so proud of Craig Mabbitt. Like, he's fantastic.
Absolutely.
And he's renewed and his creativity is renewed. And he's got this great Twitch channel that I'm like
Yes.
part of his fandom on his Twitch channel. I'm always on there, Metal Flack, and I talk to him there. But you know, that, like, when I saw him for the first time in person since that, we hugged for so long. It was crazy. Like, he also was so giving of himself, like, to his fans, to people who may be struggling with sobriety or lack of sobriety, and to stay the course and to make their lives better. And I mean, look at him. He looks gorgeous. He's like, he looks better. He sounds better. He feels better. He's got a better relationship with his family. Like, I'm super proud of him for that. And we did a lot of interviews about recovery in tandem with this movie that they had a song in that was at the label I worked at. And when I left the label, they left shortly after me. So now we're working together again, and they're the best.
Amazing. So, you've worked with them for a couple of records, right?
I did the Hate Me record, that one. And I did another, I did 2 records with them.
That's, that's such a good story as well. And, I'm very happy to hear your approach towards, these sort of, personalities and situations, because it really, showcase how invested you are in terms of the people that you're working with, rather than just perceiving them as, just a job thing, I guess.
I mean, they're what makes it special. And I always wanted to stop just short of taking things personally. And I mean, I do in some cases, because of course I'm human and you're going. But, I do actively try to say, it's not about you. They probably didn't realize that you felt that way about what they said. And move on, because it's not worth fighting. Because I have some friends that do fight and do take it extremely personally. And they're probably great at what they do for that reason. But my reasoning is, I love the people I work with. I only work with people I love. And, I even took on a rapper as a client, and I don't work in hip hop. Like, and I told him that. I was approached by Zach Yoshioka, who is also manager of Fate, and Head from Korn. And they were like, will you talk to this guy we're managing? And I was like, I mean, I guess I'll talk to him, but I don't really do hip hop. We spent 2 hours on the phone. We really got each other, and we did a lot of recovery press. I still don't do hip hop, but we did some press. And he's now a good friend. And Noble Poets is the name of them, and they're going out on a big tour now. And I mean, it's about quality people, working with quality people. That's essentially my criteria.
Absolutely. Like, do you like what's the thing in a campaign that you've developed, or on a project that you've worked on, that makes you really happy and that makes you excited? What's part of the process that you really enjoy, and subsequently what's the thing that makes you happy for it once it's done?
I mean, I think launching a song, and this is like new to me because of course I'm managing for the first time now, but launching a song, like when we launched All the Pretty Things first single, Teenage Lines, that, I mean, I felt like I was in the band, like, and we were so excited, and it was such a thrilling thing. And we, I mean, like, I worked on like getting press, getting playlists, getting this, getting that. And like, that was thrilling to me. Now, press wise, the thing that I'm glad it's over when I do it and it's over is tour press now, because all of these great editors that used to be all around the country are getting fired. They're losing their jobs. They're, people at newspapers, sometimes newspapers don't even have an entertainment editor anymore. So trying to figure that part out, that's the part I like the least.